Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, back and doing a best of 3 Innistrad Midnight Hunt draft. Wow, we got Arlen. So Arlen spits out wolves and can go up and make your creatures bigger, and they have flash, which is cool. Until your next turn, so that's sweet. You can like flash them in on your opponent's turn, get surprise blockers. And then the flip side becomes a 5/5 indestructible trample hasty werewolf. Cool card. I'll take it. A lot of goodies. Infernal Grasp is in here. Pretty good removal. Sunset Revelry. Fun card. Rebirth. Haven't played with it yet, but I mean, res card with flashback that can be cheaper is definitely good. And that spell reduction, I would assume, affects the flashback as well, which is also awesome. Immolation, apparently people hate it. I like it. Okay, follow-up pick. Well, choices here. Could take a werewolf, because this actually doesn't, oddly enough, Arlen doesn't actually affect other werewolves, but that's okay. This would make the wolves possibly have haste. Otherwise, Rise of the Ants. I haven't played with it yet, but it definitely, I played against it. It's a good card. I'm not opposed to going for the werewolf plan, though. I like the werewolf deck. The werewolves themselves are just good on their own. This one's slightly less impressive because you're paying 5 mana for 3 toughness on the front side, but if it's nighttime, who knows? Comes in as a 5/4 hasty for 5. That would be good. Other on-color things. Might of the Old Ways, playable. Candlelit Cavalry, playable. Flesh Taker, I haven't played with, played against. I thought it was good. Witch I've played against, I think it's good. Angler's playable. All right. So this is a flip card, but not an actual werewolf. Shadow Beast Sighting is a great card. 4 mana 4/4 is, I'm always happy about that. And then later 7 mana 4/4, still good. I've been really impressed with Shadow Beast Sighting, so I'm fine taking that. Even over Flame Channeler, despite, I always want Flame Channeler to be amazing, but so far it hasn't done anything crazy. I don't think I've ever actually seen a Flame counter get removed from it yet. Put on it, remove from it, getting the extra spells. Like, in theory, this card's amazing, but it's tough to get the enough spells that deal damage. Because you run 4 Immolation, and then what are you going to do? Then you're not dealing damage. I like the Search Party Captain. Another Flesh Taker in here, huh? Organ Hoarder's a great card. Okay. Well, we could take Rise of the Ants now. Howl of the Hunt's a great card, though. I do like this. Awesome combat trick. Obviously great with wolves and werewolves. You can flash it in, untap your wolves and werewolves. This is just a really powerful trick that can put people away. Or I could take Rise of the Ants because it's an uncommon, it's another flashback spell. It's kind of like Shadow Beast Sighting in that gives you a good amount of bodies for price and can be flashback. Maybe it's a more disciplined pick to take the Rise of the Ants, even though I really do, like I said, like Howl of the Hunt. I haven't gotten to play with Rise of the Ants yet, and I do think it's good, so I'm going to take it here. Falcon Abomination's a great card. And Gale Drifter's playable. I like Startle a lot. I've played it a few times now. Okay, so we can take Ardent Elementalist because I think the effect is strong. It's good value. Otherwise, Silver Bolt is some cheap removal. Relatively cheap. Bounding Wolf is an actual wolf. So you could potentially have haste. It's also got flash, but I think I'd take Elementalist. Currently, we only have a couple things that we can get back with it, but not a big deal. I mean, you end up with any removal spells and you're pretty happy you have it. I think it's a good card. I see it go super late too. So I can take Bird Admirer, or I can take the Immolation now. Currently rocking 0 pieces of removal, is that right? Immolation is nice to have as a kill spell early. I think it's important, especially since we're so clunky looking now. I do want the Bird Admirer too. I like this card. This card is, the reach on this is actually very valuable. But Immolation is just so cheaply priced to protect yourself early that I think I just take it. All right, Ruffian over Timberland Guide. I like this card. Now we're starting to go a little bit, well, yeah, we're a little bit heavy on the 4-drops. That's okay. I'm going to take Ruffian anyway. I think this card's very good. Potential 4-mana 6/5. So, Clear Shot, one of the best pieces of removal in the format. Seeing it pick 8 is absurd. Perforator, Farmer would actually probably be playable in here because could get us a land back, could potentially mill our flashback value spells. And then you're getting a body plus a land plus a spell from your graveyard, which is good value, but easy Clear Shot. That card is just so strong. Take another Immolation, get more cheap removal. Dread Knight's playable, but we're kind of getting there on top end, and I think if we really are, I mean, at this point, pretty much sure we're going to be playing Werewolves. So I assume we're going to be a little bit on the high end. So for that reason, I want some cheap removal for aggro dudes. Forager's okay. It's another 4-drop though, and this is another 5-drop. Could take the Trick, but this doesn't strike me as a super trick deck, like a deck where I'd want to play a lot of tricks, but another 4-drop doesn't seem great. I'm actually going to take Forager anyway, even though it's another 4-drop. The rummage effect on that is really valuable. Okay. Timberland Guide's a perfectly acceptable card. I've never had a problem with this card. Happy to take it here. Wow, we got third to last pick, Howl of the Hunt. That is good news because that is a really strong card. Now I'm really happy we took that Rise of the Ants. All right, we'll take Bounding Wolf. Makes sense. It's a wolf. Cheaper. Not a high chance we play Bramble Armor, but that's all right. Kessig Naturalist. Pretty tempted to take it over the Unnatural Moonrise, but like people said, the comments flips tonight, so we already have, what, like 4 things maybe that it flips tonight? 1, 2. I mean, we're going to find more too. I guess we only have 2. That can't be right. Maybe I missed one. But Naturalist, being able to ramp into, like, our 2-drop, being able to ramp, and it buffs other wolves and werewolves. So it's like a Lord effect for wolves and werewolves that also ramps into, like, can you imagine just doing like a Naturalist into an Arlen? Turn 3 Arlen? Man, that'd be nasty. Let's take it. Awesome card. Yeah. Not much to say. I haven't seen this Rite of Harmony play. It seems like a tough card to play. Easy Bird Admirer here. Good, can ranges from good to great, but I'd say the baseline on it is good, so I like that. Haven't seen this Bereaved Survivor come up yet, but another fine card. So, choices now. We can take another Elementalist, but we actually don't, we only have, I'm not sure the first one's going to be that great. I mean, we can get a Clear Shot back and Rise of the Ants and the other thing, but maybe just take another Bird Admirer. I think Shadow Beast Sighting maybe in a vacuum is better, but as of now, I'm kind of happier just getting more 2- and 3-drop werewolves. Keeping the curve low while still getting powerful effects. I think Lambholt Harrier is a fine pick here too, actually. Good card. Deceptively good, since late game just turning off blockers can win you the game, but I'd rather have the reach for flyers. Oh, Cathartic Pyre. Don't mind if I do. I love every time you draft a werewolf, it does the werewolf sound effect. Easy Cathartic Pyre here. Great card. We got slaughtered by Dawnheart Warden in one game. This card is very good too. And Timberland Guide, maybe we wheel it in case we need it. Hopefully we don't need it. Thermal Alchemist in a vacuum is a good card, but obvious Moonrager's Slash here just to get some more removal. But yeah, Thermal Alchemist can go off and can definitely win games. Abomination, great card. Such good value for price, but let's take the Slash and be happy enough about that. So, kind of don't need any of this. We're not beat down enough where I'd want a Perforator, but maybe I just take it for sideboard because another Forager just seems like it's not going to happen. I'm just going to take it in case we play against like all-in aggro, so then I have a way to lower the curve a little bit. Ooh, another Cathartic Pirate. Jeez. Well, we're getting some real slick removal now. So we'll take this. Harrier, got it, but maybe want the Tireless Hauler. Tireless Hauler is one of the better ones. 5 mana 4/5 Vigilance is great. 5 mana 6/6 Vigilance is absurd, and this is a common too. So I'm going to take it over the Harrier, even though I like Harrier. Well, we got the Unnatural Moonrise, so everybody in the, all the commenters can rejoice that I'm finally going to be able to get to try this card out and see what I think. Let's see. Don't need any of this. We'll take Raise the Effigy for artifact destruction out of sideboard, I guess. All right, got the Harrier back. That's good news. I mean, archetype is wide open, so that's cool. We've already got a deck. I mean, this would be a totally satisfactory deck after 2 packs. And we have a whole nother pack to clean this mess up, so real good. Well, Mask of Gristlebane, while strong, not what we're looking for. So, choices. We do have a werewolf in here. Could take the Burn the Accursed. What's our removal? We're up to 11 non-creatures. So, removal. So, that's 2, 4, 5, 6. I guess we're kind of good on removal already. I really like Burn the Accursed, though. I could take the Infiltrator. I could still take Burn the Accursed just because it deals with a lot of things, but I'm going to go werewolf heavy here. I'm going to go real heavy werewolf. I think likely we're not going to need... Because we're close to like pure... No, I guess we're not pure werewolves, but... So we can take another Infiltrator, but I think we take Duel for Dominance here. I did say less need for removal, but this is cheap removal that's really good. So we'll take that. I mean, next cut is probably going to be like Forager and Bounding Wolf. Even though this is a wolf, it's kind of a whatever card. Haven't played Ludovic yet. Enters or attacks, mill. That's a cool card. Probably take another Shadow Beast sighting. Or we could take another Howl of the Hunt. I mean, this card is very good. And really we're at like, are we only at 13, 14 creatures maybe if you count Arlen? I do. I just really like Shadow Beast setting. I'm going to take it. Because last time we got back the Howl of the Hunt anyway. So, easy slash. We just have all this incredible removal. Immolation, sure. Just a deck full of removal and good werewolves. That's nice. So we could take Pestilent. We could take Pestilent Wolf, but... I might just take Plummet for sideboard. We already have a deck. I don't think Pestilent Wolf's going to make the deck anyway. Just all the Moonragers slash, huh? Dawnheart Mentor is great too. Very good Coven card, but there's no way I can pass all these slashes. I mean, this card is like meant for werewolves too, because it gets even better. Wow, I don't even know what to do with myself. Way too many goodies. There's no way we can play 16 lands, is there? Because we have way too many goodies to not want to play 16 lands. Burn the Accursed too. Yeah, we're going to have to figure out a way to make this 16 lands, I think. But, oh man, that's going to be tough because we have all these flashback spells too. So we have like rewards, definite rewards for playing 17. I mean, our colors were just so wide open this whole draft. Return to Nature for sideboard. So we already have Plummet too. So we ended up with a very powerful deck with great sideboard options. So that's really nice. Let's figure this out. Once again, I feel like one of the perks of werewolves, you don't need a lot of rares and bombs to make the deck good. We just happen to get Arlen, which is a pretty good one. So is there any way that we can get away with 16 lands here? We do have one ramp with Naturalist. And I guess Cathartic Pyre, technically in a real pinch, you can play Pyre plus discard up to 2. So basically you can use 3 cards to draw 2 cards, which isn't that great. But when you're desperate for lands, you can. I guess with the sheer quantity of removal and tricks we have, perhaps we won't need the immolations. I know, I said it. I meant it. Because we've got just way too many. It says 12 creatures, it's really 13, 14, 15 creatures, 16 with Arlen. So technically we can cut. We can cut 1 creature. There's a decent chance that we... the only cards I'm taking out are the non-creature... the real non-creature spells. Because this is a non-creature spell technically, but for the sake of the deck, it's a creature spell. Same with Arlen, because she spits out wolves and becomes a creature. So really we're just looking at what is not good enough to make this deck. So the one creature I would probably cut is like Bounding Wolf. Actually, no, Elementalist is fantastic in here with 2 Cathartic Pyres, Duel for Dominance, 3, yeah. Elementalist is amazing in here. We could cut the Forager, but once again, I like having the Rummage effect. I think it's valuable to have actually, but with the amount of 4 drops, if we do in fact end up running 16 lands, which with the amount of goodies we have, I think it might be a good idea. Then we probably can slightly lower the curve here. And cut that. And then we only have to cut 5 more spells. Jeez. I mean, technically, I guess I could cut 1 more creature and run 14 creatures. I don't love doing that, but our creature's overall power level is high enough where it's probably okay. Like, I don't really need to run Bounding Wolf. We've just got much better things going on. 2 Howl the Hunts, I guess, get slightly worse. That's all right, though. Yeah, probably cut that. But we have 2 fight spells as well, Clear Shot, and 4 of our non-creature spells require creatures, so it gets a little more dangerous to cut down to 14 creatures. So maybe we keep the Bounding Wolf. I don't really love Bounding Wolf in general. It does have reach, though. But with 2 Howl the Hunts, the more wolves and werewolves you have, the better. And our deck at this point is almost all, besides the Shadow Beast sighting, the Elementalist, and the Rise of the Ants, I think we're like all wolf and werewolf, which is insane. 10? Yeah, it's good. So, the cuts. Maybe the immolations do go. Are we still trying the Unnatural Moonrise? I guess. People are swearing by it, so. We can bring in immolations as necessary against hyper aggro, and then we can probably bring out the fight spells. This deck is so good. It's so good. I have no idea what to cut. I guess we can cut Burn the Accursed. Love the card, but we've got all this cheap removal. We're running 16 lands, so better to keep the curve low. And we still have to make another cut. It could be one of the fight spells. Clear Shot's clearly better than Duel for Dominance. I actually like Duel for Dominance. And, I mean, there's totally a reasonable chance that we'd end up with... I think there's a pretty good chance we could end up with Coven. But I think how the Hunt doesn't get more premium than a deck like this, where it's a permanent combat trick that makes your creature huge and have vigilance. Like, it just allows you to just take the game over with one of your creatures. You attack into me? Okay, I'll untap my werewolf, kill your dude. Now I have this huge win con that's already eaten one of your guys. Like it just feels like a game flipping aura. So maybe Duel for Dominance goes, because I'm not cutting pyres and slashes. This deck is real strong. Trying out Moonrise, we'll see. People are telling me real good, so take their word for it. We'll give it a try. How's our colors looking? Almost dead even, so 8-8 makes sense. I mean, yes, we can get screwed, but we have way too many good things, I think, to run 17 in here. All right, we're running it like this. We'll see you round one. All right, round one. Play first. Well, we need green mana, but I think we still keep this because of Arlen, probably. And I assume even if Arlen ends up getting killed, if it spits out 2 wolves, I'm probably not too unhappy. Perfect. Oh. Oh boy. Does it have haste too? Oh my goodness. That's so unfair. Just turn 4, smash for casual smash for 8 on turn 4 with a lightning bolt in hand. Ooh. Didn't pay the cost. Well, cast 2 spells, I guess. Ooh. Got a little sack fodder there, huh? I want to flip my guys. I could also attack with both and just... because they're likely to cast. Yeah, we probably get in there. And then slash the Cathar, I guess. We might as well sandbag these in case we get a Cathartic Pyre. Oh. Elementalist getting back slash is pretty good. Do I want to flip and go to night or just get the thing back now? I'm going to get the thing back now. Because there are quite a few things that exile cards from graveyards, so... I guess we'll play the land so we can cast it in case they make us, I guess, discard our hand or something. I don't know. Sure. like that, for example. All right. All right. We stole game one. They're playing some sort of black-white value-looking deck. They do have pretty good removal. Well, Eaten Alive, Intrepid Adversary is a very strong card. And it gets +1/+1 counters as well. So if they pay 7 mana, they get a... Because it gets its own buff. So 7 mana would make it... it'd get buffed 2 extra times, so it'd become like a 5/3. So it'd still be killable by our 3 Moonragers slashes, but... Rite of Oblivion is so good too. Good value card, especially with the Cathar they have. So, Immolation, don't think we need it. I mean, they still could be very aggressive. We just don't know yet. Plummet, we saw 1 flyer, but it's not worth bringing it in for that. Burn the Accursed, I guess exiling is typically good. I mean, Adversary is gonna have to die if it comes down. Thankfully, we have Pyre and Slash, which will deal with it up to 7 mana, which is pretty good. Once I get to 9 mana, we might have an issue. But more than enough removal to deal with their stuff. So, I mean, I could do Duel for Dominance if I was really worried about a big creature, because our creatures are probably going to end up being bigger. But no. Artifacts, enchantments, cards in graveyards, no. Howl of the Hunt, arguably worse, because they have pretty good removal, but you don't play Howl of the Hunt until you're getting value off of it, so that's my sort of opinion about it. Think of it as like a combat trick, which in themselves are sometimes good, except this one's permanent. So, real good. Mull to 5. Oh, there we go. There's a good one. Uh-oh. We do have enchant removal out of sideboard. Not main deck so much, though. While they're tapped out, I think I'm just going to kill it with Clear Shot. Gets us extra damage. We keeps our slashes and Pyre around, which I think ultimately should be better. Oh, good. Our thing flipped, huh? Oh, wait. We didn't have anything that could flip. Never mind. I'm going to go for it. They have 2 cards left. Granted, they get a 2-for-1 here, but we're so far ahead on hand, I don't see why we shouldn't. We're also not casting anything else that turn, so they can pay the full price to kill our Harrier, get a 2-for-1, and then all of our future creatures are probably better anyway. I mean, we're at the point where we actually kill them next turn with Moonrager's slashes, which is pretty absurd. Oh, I guess not, because... Whoops. Because we don't have 2 red mana. That's alright. All right. Well, we beat the Mull of 5. We'll see for round 2. Play first. Good hand. Potential turn 3 Ruffian if this Naturalist pans out. Otherwise, turn 3 Admirer is just fine too. Turn 4, 6-5. Is that about right? No, 7-6. Turn 4, 7-6. It's so insane. They have 2 mountains out. And then we just, you know, continue to do really mean, unfair things. Oh wait, that only deals 3. Well, maybe I just get a Trampler. That draws me a card. Well, could flip our dudes back. But I don't want to. I think I'm, you know, I could let them like double block and get more value, but I'd rather just do this. Just kill it because it's not going to flip my dude back. And then I can continue to attack, and I guess I can do Moonrise on Lord. That only leaves me with 1 extra mana. Let's just get in with the Smasher, and then we'll drop a, I don't know, Shadow Beast Sighting or something. Could do the Lambholt Harrier. The Harrier would make it so we get back past a blocker. If I did the Moonrise on the Lord and attacked, they could block it. I wouldn't draw a card, but I'd kill their dude. Now they don't really have anything left, and we have a board full of powerful things that don't even die against Burn Down the House. I mean, our Smasher survives Burn Down the House. So they still have to get smashed for at least 7. Yeah, so they even had the rare. Wait, why'd my guy die? Oh, it was getting buffed. I was wrong. Well, rats. That's funny that they did have the rare, though. I'm not going to play 2 spells because I want to keep my 3/5. If I draw a land, I get to go Harrier and get past a blocker. Casual 3 mana 3/5s and 3 mana 4/4s. Eat Alive or whatever. Full price. Oh man. Doubling up on removal. Guess they flipped our dude back. But unfortunately for them, all right. Stole game 1. We know they burned down the house now. Burned down the house. What did it even get out of us? It got a 1 for... You think it's a 1 for 3, but it's really like a 1 for 2.5. Because they only got half of a Shadow Beast sighting. Once again, really reinforcing why Shadow Beast sighting is such a good card. So... They're aggro colors, but they're not aggro archetype because they're doing board wipes and they're doing Seize the Storm. So they have more of like a late game plan, which I think makes things like Immolation once again worse, unless they just have a bunch of cheap stuff that we didn't see, which is possible. Artifacts, enchantments, cards, and graveyards. Didn't see any of those. Well, I guess the flashback spell. And exiling instants and sorceries would be useful, but not good enough for Return to Nature to make an appearance here, I don't think. Burn the Accursed would be useful, I guess, for bigger things, but no, I think we just probably keep it the same. Unless we think Cathartic Pyre is going to be bad, but I don't. So we'll run it back. All right, one lander, we better mull. This one we'll keep. And I think we'll ditch the... Might actually be Howl of the Hunt. Could do Rise of the Ants. But I think I'm actually doing Howl of the Hunt, just because if we can eventually get to Rise of the Ants, it might be enough to do some game flipping, hopefully. I mean, Howl of the Hunt would obviously look good on Bird Admirer, but I don't know. I feel like Rise of the Ants is actually just very strong and a good way to help us get to the late game, or help us win in the late game. All right, we'll kill that little feller. I just don't want to deal with it. Oh, no. I'd rather have the Infiltrator than the Admirer because 4/4's, well, 4/4's not better than 3/5, but 3/2 on surface is better than 1/4. So I guess that was my logic. Rotten Reunion, surprisingly, does something against us. I think I'm okay doing Naturalist. Because then we could potentially get into Hauler territory. So that way, if they have burned down the house, if Hauler is flipped, it actually won't die. This time it actually won't die. Even if Naturalist dies. 6/6 will survive burn down the house. So important note there. All right, and they're getting back what now? Revelation, huh? All right, well. So I could do the Hauler, but I think we'll just flip to Knight for now. This way they have to play 2 spells in order to flip back. And we're, I guess, building towards some bigger things at some point here. Reservoir. I haven't seen much of this yet. I actually really like this card. I kind of like the idea of what my opponent's doing because it's what made that cheaper? I'm a little confused. What made that cheaper? Because shouldn't it flashback for 2? 1, 2, 3. Oh, they had another one. I'm like, okay, well, that makes sense. So, I think we'll flip our guys back again. Make them play 2 spells again. Can do an end of turn Bounding Wolf. I see. So they want to kill the assailant with Reservoir, which does make sense. I might be willing to trade an assailant for an Elementalist plus Reservoir. I guess we could do the Watch instead and attack with all 3, and that way we get damage in. Yeah, I'm all right with this. This kind of pushes the pace a little bit harder. So now they can trade Elementalist for Reaver plus Reservoir charges, but then they take 7. Wow. That's cool. They're like all rotten reunion. So they can Rotten Reunion, kill Hauler. Now they can Rotten Reunion, then kill Hauler. Can you do it to any target too? That's cool. You can actually burn face with Reservoirs as well. It's a good card. Oh, and we lost half of our Rise of the Ants as well. But because they waited, I think that's ultimately going to be the death of them. All right. Opponent had a cool deck. I like the Rotten Reunion, Geist Flame, Reservoir with Seize the Flame synergy. It's a cool deck idea. But ultimately, our value stuff ended up getting there. And we survived, burned down the house in both games too. Wow. All right, we'll see you for round 3. Well, kind of want to keep this hand. I mean, it's got a lot of goodies in it. Good mix of spells and removal. It's just, obviously don't have the red mana, but we're on the draw. I think it's worth the risk. Because if we draw any land, at least we can play Admirer, maybe into Sighting. And if we draw red lands, then we're at least looking real solid. Ooh, hopefully they didn't get a red mana there. They probably got a green mana. Oh, no, that's their green mana, I think. Well, Bird Admirer, I guess, is looking pretty good. I like Reach. I think we'll do the Sighting. Howl the Hunt would be a good combat trick there, but let's just get a 4/4 down for now. Nice. This is why a clear shot is so remarkably strong. So, this turns back into a 2/2. Probably want to do damage prevention now. Although, we'd have to take 5 damage. Because we only have 1 red mana, we can't, like, really make great use of mana. I think we do the Ruffian. We take 5 damage now, and then at least next turn I can go Howl plus Pyre, which isn't bad. Have a couple ways to protect it here. I think we'll actually do Howl of the Hunt. Clear Shot would be pretty wicked too, because we could take out the Abomination, but I might want Clear Shot for other things. So we can draw a card here. But it might be worth it to flip our Ruffian and leave up Pyre and Clear Shot again. Just take out evasive dudes for a while. Like all flashback. Really? Willing to lose everything, huh? Well, two can play at this Clear Shot shenanigan value thing. I kind of want to keep... They only have 6 mana, so they can't get that. One, yeah, let's just keep this guy huge. Oh, that's cool. That's cool too. Well, we might as well play a bunch of dudes this turn, I feel like. So they can't kill, they can't do anything about Ruffian, so we'll just get in with Ruffian here and flip our dudes again. Force him to play 2 spells. All right. They're not going to be able to play 2 spells forever, so especially with the more expensive stuff coming here. So at this point they do have blockers for my bigger dudes, so we'll swap here. Well, I said they wouldn't be able to play 2 spells forever, but they're doing a pretty good job doing it every turn. Should I just keep saying they can't play 2 spells forever while they just continue to play 2 spells every turn? Alright, they didn't play 2 spells. Sweet. So, that's cool. Oh, that's perfect. So do we attack with the Tavern Smasher now? Maybe a 4/4/2 actually. We'll see how they block. We might be able to get value here. Guess I'd rather save my huge dude. Could have saved the assailant, but I'll do it this way. Oh, geez. All right. Well, that's too bad. We were looking good for a little while. Thought we might be able to turn it around, but I guess not. So, looks like this one really, once again, I feel like a lot of the games I lose come down to the absolute last card. Oh, I guess I had to block there. But it feels like a lot of the games that I lose in this format have so far been my opponent's very last card was the one that won them the game. So if it's that close, then I feel good about it. So we want stuff that deals with stuff in the graveyard, but we really don't have good ones for that. I don't like Return to Nature for that, but I guess it deals with Ominous Roost too. All right, we'll do the Return to Nature then. Plummet deals with some stuff. I don't really like it. I don't really like it here. I don't think it's good enough. I guess it deals with Stormrider Spirit too. It's just, I'm not really feeling it. Our Cathartic Pyre, I mean, obviously Slash is always good enough. Is Cathartic Pyre good enough here? I mean, it deals with flyers. It does not deal with the Shadow Beast stuff, but can be good in response to a clear shot or can be a way to deal with like double blocks. So we probably keep it around. But then what do I cut for Return to Nature? Maybe we do cut a Pyre. I forgot that I probably missed something where my unnatural whatever turns things to night. I bet there's some combinators screaming about that. I could have like turned it to night on my dudes. Guess I'll keep this. Need some green mana now, but I don't really want to mull either. I could have turned to night and maybe been able to attack. I feel like they set up pretty good blocks though. Delver. Delver's a good one. I'll do Infiltrator anyway. Even if they flip Delver turn 3, at least we'll be able to maybe attack with Infiltrator and we get to play the Shadow Beast sighting. Ooh, Arlen. Well, are we ready to play Arlen already? These aren't creature spells either. Let's do the sighting for now. Let's mount a little bit more of a defense before we... maybe I have to be willing to trade my Infiltrator for a farmer, but I'm not quite ready. Well, I can play Arlen and bring her up. But then she still dies if I flip Delver, so I don't want that. Feels like an okay time to do Bird Admirer, because that way if they flip Delver, I can block it. Not what I want to do, but I'm not going to be flipping anytime soon either, I don't think. Oh, that's too bad. Wish Arlen didn't die to a bird if I -3 it. But at this point, I feel like I don't really have a choice. So now it's one of our mini removal spells for Delver or Bust at this point. Alright, well, we didn't find it. And we can't do the Rise of the Ants because we don't have 8 mana. Love this deck, though. Really phenomenal deck. Really, really good deck. Had a lot of fun playing it. It was super powered. We had just oodles of removal. I don't think I've ever had this much. Like, to the point where you're cutting... We literally got to the point of removal where we were cutting premium removal spells, so... Definitely a very good deck. Ended up losing in the finals, unfortunately. Disappointed about that, but it happens. Happy to get the victories I got. Loved the deck. Very fun. Werewolves are super legit. Let's do some back one pick ones and call it good. All right, pack one, pick one. Probably go with Blaze Stitch Scab. Could do the Blood Thief too. It works in more decks. That's true. It's not gold. But Scab is super strong for the blue-black deck. I mean, both those colors have a ton of decayed generators as well as just zombies in general. So it's a rare quality Lord effect, you know, for 2 mana, 2/3. Yeah, I'd probably go Scab still. The upside, I think, outweighs the downside of being gold first pick. Willow Geist. This is a cool card, actually. I bet this is actually pretty awesome in the format because a lot of flashback, disturb, and ways to exile cards in graveyards. So I like this for 1 mana. I could see first picking it. Otherwise, yeah, Howl of the Hunt. I love that. Our Elementalist is good. Tome's playable, I think. A couple playables in there. All right, Pack one, pick one. Well, I'd take the Ominous Roost. It's the only thing, like, it's fun build around, and there's nothing else in there. It's really screaming out at me, so I'm all right with that. And then last pick, yeah, take the Stowaway. Otherwise, I love the Delver is so good. Delver has always been good, will never not be good. I'd be surprised if Delver was ever bad. I mean, there's certainly limited decks where it's not good enough, but if your limited deck is good enough, it's just inevitably going to be a 1-drop that starts beating down as a 3-power flyer, which is awesome. All right. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you for the next one.